Okay, we're back on this Bailor cylinder, and this is the final test. I've already run it about 5 times. I just wanted to show you what we ended up doing. Let me start it. Okay, I'm going to bring it back in. I was going the wrong direction there. Now, this is right after I installed that brass keeper for the O-ring in this block. We had the problem where it was seeping in here. Okay, so I'm in that brass piece of the last video. Got in there and I tested around it about 5 times so far. I don't see any leaks. I torqued these down. I got a big breaker bottom. I stamped O-ring 246 in it. This section here, I sanded this off. I decided that I'm going to stamp shaft seal and then put the size of the shaft seal in here. And then after I paint this thing all black, I'll put some red or yellow paint on here, and then I'm going to tell the maintenance supervisor and the mechanics about that. And I'll probably give them an O-ring and an extra seal with an install tool on this, because that's where the problem is. If the mechanics can quickly fix this thing and they know how to do it, it'll save them a lot of money. They had to pull a crew in here to get this thing out. This will be a spare. They have 2 of these, so it's a spare, but it'll be the same thing on the other cylinder. And I have the seal kit number for the other cylinder, which is a little bit different. This is a reman cylinder here, okay, and it was very expensive, but they need this thing. Without this, they're done. But if I could show them how to just, these seals get beat up because they're working hard all day long. I'll show them how to install those. They just pull the front off, pull the pin out of the front of this, and they can quickly change that shaft seal and keep going. Okay, this cylinder had a couple problems on it. It had a leak up at that front block where the weld was, and then the one mechanic had told me that it was leaking under that block. Okay, it's hard to see because it's down, it's inside of a covered machine. It's hard to get to. Okay, hold on a minute. It's going to hit this. So what I'm doing here, I'm just cycling this out. It wasn't too, I did about 4 or 5 cycles the other day after I put that O-ring. We knew that O-ring was a problem, and I didn't like it from day one. Because when I pulled it out, when I took it apart, the O-ring was crimped. And I just didn't like that. Okay, I don't know what happened here or why it was machined that way, but you see how you could go to our playlist and see the whole thing on this. Go into the Bailor playlist. There's several videos from start to finish on different things on this. And I'm gonna inform the mechanics about it so they can watch it. That way, second shift or whatever, they can just pull this cap off and put that seal in. Okay, it's kind of a pain in the butt. It's tricky, and I use some flashing to get it started. And you saw how the seal was busted up, and that's because this thing's working hard. Bang, bang, pressure all day long. Cycles out pressures. It's Bale's cardboard, so there's constantly pressure on it. So this rod isn't bad. It's got one little line here. These things tend to seep a little bit, and it has a fresh seal in there, and that's part of the maintenance thing. It's just showing them how to do it and having them understand what's in there, because certainly they could change that. Now, I did all of it, and I took this off, welded the cracks. I welded the other end just to be safe, and got all the new seals in it. There's another big seal in here, and then you got the piston seal. But most of the time, it's right here. This is the one that takes the hammering, and this seal here. So they'll have those. I'll give them 1 each, put it in a bag, tie it up, and they'll let this sit in their warehouse on this stand that we made them here. ready to go to do a quick swap out. You know, this particular cylinder is $120,000 is what I was told. So you understand that you don't just walk down and get one of these. And I would wonder what a new one costs, but this was a reman apparently, and I don't know what that was wrong or something wrong with that, the way that was done. But I believe we fixed it. And I'll cycle this out. I'm going to do 10 cycles on it. That way I know when it leaves here that I never have to worry about it. When they put it on, there's no question. And you saw how, this is why you test everything, because you saw that it started seeping in here and around here, and I caught it. If I didn't test this, I'd be, man, they'd be cussing me out. They wouldn't put this on, have me down there, and then trying to fix it when it's in there. Good luck. That's why you do things right, and you know, you check everything. Don't do half-ass stuff, because you're going to be called out for it. Okay, over the years, I've had to train my guys. You know, you don't cut corners. You know, you do it right, because so you get someone. You know, you teach them right. That way, you have less problems. You're always going to have a few problems, but you're going to have less problems if you really pay attention. A deal like this, you know, you don't want to make any mistakes. So I'm going to sit here and let it run and test it out, so I feel real confident. Now, when I do that, I have very few comebacks. Sometimes things happen. You don't catch things and like that, but it does happen, so you just want to be aware. Another thing is, that's why I tell you guys, you want to take welding. When you take the welding, you want to first start with stick rod. You want to 6011 and 7018 1/8. You know, if you get certified in the 7018, good. Anything after that, you know, you can easily, if you could do that, you can MIG weld. You could take a TIG class too and practice. That takes a little more practice to get good at that. That's eye-hand coordination. But if you have a local college or something with a machine shop, man, take it, because they're getting rid of them. Okay, I was fortunate. I was able to take 2 semesters of machine shop when I was very young. And then after, they ended up, the school got rid of all the lathes and all that, and they turned in some arts class. So you're finding out that they're not teaching the manual machining, and that's a must-have. As you saw, I whipped that out in about an hour myself. And I don't do, I mean, I'm a decent machinist. I don't do machining every day, all day, but it's part of the, you know, to be a well-versed mechanic, you want to be able to have all the stuff going on. Okay, that's the reason I can solve these kind of problems like this. Okay, we're coming into the stroke here, and then I'm going to bring it in again, and then, so basically this cylinder will be done. We'll paint it. I'll put some red or yellow paint where I put the size of the seals on there, and then I'll get a baggie and wrap up the spare seal, and I'll tie it up here, and this will sit in their warehouse till it's ready to go. So the maintenance supervisor, he's looking ahead. That's what maintenance supervisors do, to get ready. He knows basically that, you know, be ready for problems, because he used to work as a mechanic, but now he's a supervisor, so he already knows this stuff. So I'm just going to help them out so they have less problems here, and they don't call in a panic, and then we'll already know what size it is. So that's all for this video. You can look at the playlist on Bailor cylinder to watch all the videos. Stand by for the next problem.